It did. We whoa. Twitch is working. Pog champ. Hello, Zev. Welcome. This is Total War 3 Kingdoms. It's a game about China. Oh yeah, I was doing a little test playthrough. It's Total War. I've played Total War. We know how that works. I'm garbage at it, but I have played Total War. Also, hopefully the audio and the settings and stuff are fine. I mean, the audio is just maxed out. It still feels quiet. I don't know. But anyway, if you don't know the Three Kingdoms era, it's also known as the Romance of the Three Kingdoms if you prefer the fantasy version of it. But it is essentially after the fall of the Han Empire and the reunification of China. I don't remember what year it is. 140 or something. Something like that. But anyway, we have the option of playing of a coalition, a governor, outlaws, or yellow turbans. Coalition are the easier ones. Those are the ones that end up forming the major portions of the empire. Governors, I think, are just individual, like, city-states? I'm not entirely sure. Outlaws are fucking outlaws. You'll figure it out. I kind of want to play as her at some point, because she looks cool. And the yellow turbans are a rebellion. A rebellion that historically gets crushed very, very quickly. So, playing as them, I imagine, would be rather difficult to do, but you know. But I did a little test run of Cao Cao. Or Cao Cao, if you prefer pronouncing it the way Dynasty Warriors did forever. He's remarkably easy, though. But yeah, a generally recognizable name is probably fun, which, because of Dynasty Warriors, would probably be Cao Cao, Liu Bei, Sun Jian, and... that's probably the most recognizable three. From just a general person's standpoint. Now I've played as him, so I don't really want to play as him again, so from the recognizable ones, let's see where everyone starts.
Or you fight for naught.
Sun Jian has never shied away from opportunity.
Words?
And despite his loyalties, the fall of the imperial court presents great opportunities.
Okay. I'll talk about how the romance mode works in a little bit here, but I just want to see where everyone starts. He starts way over there.
For fate's gifts.
Actually, that's not as far over as I thought. So Sun Jian's basically on his own over here.
Sun Jian has never shied
I would like you to not say that
opportunity.
every time.
And despite his loyalties, the fall
Well,
of
she's
the
gonna say that every
imperial
time, so...
court presents great opportunities.
What are their faction skills? There's a whole lot of, like, character stuff, because the Three Kingdoms is basically a character-driven story. There's a lot of relationship stuff that goes on with certain characters and story building and stuff, but for faction-specific things, what's up, Colonel? How are you doing? They basically just get some unique units and a unique building or two. There's nothing too crazy factions. I mean, they're all China. Everyone's China, so it's not going to be a whole lot of variance faction-wise. It's really just character-wise. So all the characters have traits and goals and relationships and whatnot. But again, everyone is China. So for it's like Shogun 2. Yeah, the heroism, that's romance mode. It's like Shogun 2, I think this is just romance mode. No, it's not.
Loyalty. It is my destiny.
Yeah, that's okay.
Honor your allegiances.
I thought that was romance mode. She's gonna talk again now because I clicked on stuff.
Sun Jian has never shied away from opportunity. And despite his loyalty,
So just fighting as this
of the Imperial
faction is good.
presents great
I can overlay him.
opportunities.
I was saying something. It's like Shogun 2. The factions have similar units. Because in Shogun 2, everyone was Japan. But anyway, I think we're gonna play as Sun Jian. Noteworthy characters down there, that's just his family. In case you don't know how Asian names work, the name at the first part is the family name. So Sun. This is apparently a aggressive faction because we get bonuses for inflicting more casualties than the enemy. But in this game, you have two options because of how Three Kingdoms is told. You have Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which is the fantasy version, which focuses on generals doing things that normal people shouldn't be able to do. This is probably what most people are familiar with because Dynasty Warriors and like an entire other series called Romance of the Three Kingdoms is based on it. There's also some books if you feel like reading. But this is the main mode. This allows generals to duel. Generals are extremely powerful, they have a lot of influence, that sort of thing. If you want a more traditional Total War, there's also Records of the Three Kingdoms, so this is a more historic approach. And if you've played Total War before, you've played what records would be. It's, you know, you have a general unit that has a bunch of infantry or horsemen or whatever attached to it, and you play the battles out like normal. But we're doing Romance, because that's more fun. It's, you know, it's Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Who doesn't want to play Romance mode?
Embers rise, stark against the night. The tyrant Dong Zhuo wields the flames of destruction. Luo Yang burns, chaos ignites, as the power of the eunuchs is crushed. In the pyre, the Han falters. Yet hope endures in those brave enough to resist. Sun Jian puts the future of his family before his own. Bravery is strength. Let tyrants fear the tiger.
Sun Jian is the tiger of the south, in case you're curious.
The great empire of the Han, stretching back ages beyond counting, is being devoured by corruption. The Yellow Turbans, thousands strong, began raising their banners in rebellion and seizing commanderies across the realm. In response, generals loyal to the Emperor rose up and put down the rebellion.
This is basically all of the story that you get in the whole game, so...
The chaos only grew. With the corruption at the very heart of the Empire, the loyal generals stormed the Imperial Palace and killed the 10 eunuchs, the source of China's ills. In the madness, the warlord Dong Zhuo seized the Emperor. With the great warrior Lü Bu at his side, none dared oppose him. In response to Dong Zhuo's brazen display, treason some call it, a coalition of warlords rose up, led by the charismatic Yuan Shao, to save the Han. Faced with united opposition, Dong Zhuo retreated west to his stronghold of Chang'an, razing the old capital Luoyang to the ground as he fled. It is now the year 190 CE, and the coalition has all but collapsed. Warlords on all sides have seen opportunities to build their own fortunes from the chaos. Yellow Turban remnants still stalk the lands, seeking the age of the yellow sky, whilst soldiers of fortune feel the change of fate on the wind and strike out on their own. The scales shift, and China hangs in the balance.
There you go, there's the whole backstory for this timeline. Ta-da. If you've played Dynasty Warriors, this timeline is basically the same timeline that Dynasty Warriors starts at. Dynasty Warriors starts at the end of Yellow Turban. And then goes straight into this. I say Dynasty Warriors a lot because it's probably a game a decent number of people have at least seen. I forgot to mention there's options just like every other Total War game. You've got difficulty, realism mode, etc.
And Luo Yang crumbles.
我誓要手刃东贼，
I forgot I
为
did this.
民除害。
He has moved west with the young emperor in his charge. He will leverage all the remaining Han power against us.
那就放马过来，论打仗，我还没怕过谁。
That's Chinese. What's up, Tiny?
Such zeal is admirable, my lord. But may I caution patience if we are to have victory?
有道理，袁术可以为援，此人与其兄袁绍有隙，奈何时值乱世，我当连结世间英豪。孙子曰：“故善战者，能为不可胜。”我可不能错失良机。
The tiger of Jiangdong must howl once more, my lord, so that all of China may hear the call.
I'll probably have to adjust the volume at some point. There's an option for generals to speak Chinese. I figured why not. Kind of like how I'd left Sekiro on Japanese. So we got the authentic experience. They're gonna yell at us in Chinese. PogChamp, how you doing, Goliath? Goliath. So here's our first mission, just like every other Total War game. Missions are just objectives to guide you. They're not required. So this is our little tip here. It wants us to secure the Southlands and beware of Liu Biao and his vassals. Now curiously, for some reason I am here. My actual city is over here. Why am I over there if I am over here? So there's Liu Bao, there's Jian Shu, there's He. That's a rather curious starting location. There's also these little things in this game, which is kind of nice. It tells you about geographic locations, which is neat. So obviously it wants us to fight that, take that town, I would imagine. Curious circumstance. I'm playing romance mode. It changes the start location too. I didn't know it did that. The way territory works in this game, I'm pretty sure. Well, it's a system similar to Rome and whatnot, but territory is built on multiple things. You'll have a town or a city or whatever surrounded by various other things. In this case, it's a region of Changsha, which has an armor craftsman and a tea house and a trade port, which is up here. You control all those, you can do assignments, you can build stuff. You can only build one building per region. So if I were to upgrade this town to a large town, I can't build anything else down here on this menu. They function collectively as one region, just with a bunch of different buildings over a large area. So I have to get used to that. But anyway, here's the map. It's rather large and rather detailed, actually. It's kind of nice. There's Dongzhou chilling over here. doing whatever it is he's doing. Little test run I did with Cao Cao, he starts over... It's this region? Yeah, Jian. So that's where he starts. Liu Bei starts up here somewhere. I don't remember the name of his starting region. It might be Taishan. I'm not entirely sure. But we're down here and we get to fight entirely different people. And now you might notice everyone around me hates me. In fact, everyone around me is at war with me. Every single adjacent province to my own is at war. I think, are they all Han empires? That's why. Yeah. Well, this is a shit start. And another different thing is the way armies work. So you'll have a general. I believe this is true for the regular mode as well, rather than romance. We have a general, and then you have 6 cohorts or whatever. I don't know the terminology for this in China. But you'll have 6 little groups of a specific type of unit. So in our case, we have 2 archer militias, some axe dudes, and some mercenary infantry. In my little general thing here. And then he's got 2 spear dudes. You can only have 6 per general, you can only have 3 generals per army, so you can only have 18 plus the 3 generals. I don't know if there's like agents. I haven't gotten far enough in to know if there are agents. It doesn't seem like there are, which I'm fine with because I fucking hate agents anyway. They're a tedious thing to manage. Yeah, what he's saying, but in Chinese. Might change that back to English. Not entirely sure. Nothing he says is terribly important, so I guess it doesn't matter, but... We don't have any cavalry. So here's his little rink-a-dink army. And that guy. 3 melee power. Are you okay, dude? Oh god, he only has 4. What the fuck happened to you guys? But anyway, this is the first battle. It's an auto win. It's the same with literally any time you ever play a Total War game. This is an auto win fight, so... But it is also going to probably introduce duels, so we can chill and watch one of those happen. What do we have for powers? Engage in a duel or has an attack order, does some splash damage. Engage in a duel, has an attack order, does some splash damage. So here's our first duel. You can also initiate duels, there's a little button down here. He's being challenged, but there's your little button. Sometimes the AI won't take duels, sometimes the AI initiates duels. So he's challenging me, this is the relative strength and bonuses if you do it fast enough. There's a lot of stuff that happens. But, you know, you get bonuses even if you win slowly, you just get more if you win quickly. But it also shows relative strength, he's negligible because he's just a pleb and I am Sun Jian. So we will take this duel. And duels are honored, they will not be attacked during the duel. So if I wanted to, we could literally just sit here and wait. I got knocked off my horse, rude. Look at them go. He won't win this fight even, like, remotely. I'm surprised he knocked me off the horse at all. But this has the bonus, for instance, while they're fighting, I could go fight his army without his general there to lead it, which is a huge advantage. Because he's not there influencing morale or fighting my dudes. So I could take my army, walk past this duel, and go fuck up his army. If I wanted to, or we could, you know, thematically just watch the duel play out and then go kill his army. In this case, either one doesn't matter because he's only one general. So once the general's dead, it doesn't matter.
珍惜你剩下的每次呼吸吧。
But yeah, this is duels. They're kind of neat. I like them. It's certainly something a lot different than, you know, every other Total War game. There you go.
敌将受手。
Stabbed with his own spear. And now the duel's over, so his army's gonna be assholes and shoot at me. I need you to get back on your horse. That'd be pretty nice. Thanks. He's just gonna casually walk through the area, the arrows.
依我看，你取得了进步。
Oops.
加快脚步，射手就绪，快点儿，快快快！
I could probably win the rest of this fight just with the generals. Our comrade is under attack, by the way. In case you were unaware. I'd like it if you guys shot them. Thank you. Arrows fired straight are more accurate than arrows fired up, as far as I'm aware, but that's not really a big deal anyway. We could watch our generals go cleave through a bunch of dudes. Essentially, the generals in this mode have the power of the unit that they would otherwise have in the normal mode. Is just, it looks cooler having one dude do stuff. Also, the game might be loud.
到底是无胆鼠辈。
But there you go, we win. This is what happens when you take a duel that you will not win. And I believe that should give us... what's it called? What is this faction's thing? Bravery? I don't remember what it was called.
大义不灭。
Heroism, that's what it's called.
走吧，
Heroism, whatever.
进去吧，就是此路。
Taste of victory, hooray! So it wants us to occupy this. Which gives us support from the people. Which is bonus happiness. There's another thing I didn't mention on the world map, which is... I believe it's unique to this, but it's the supplies here. So when you're in enemy territory, it drops down rather quickly. We have a bonus from the campaign thing giving us 30, so it would be negative 30 right now, I'm pretty sure. Negative 31? Yeah, it'd be negative 31 or so. Which means we can only be in enemy territory for like 3 or 4 turns, and then people start deserting or dying rather quickly. You also lose supplies in your own territory if it is winter. Supplies are useful. If you're in your territory or in a town, you'll regain supplies. I believe that's the only way to do it, apart from missions, but missions is just like a one-off thing. But now we go fight this town, because it demands us, and we also spawned over here, so... You have a few options when you're fighting a town. You can starve them out, which is just continuing the siege, is all that is. They start suffering attrition pretty quickly in this game. You can demand their surrender, which he will not take. Never mind, he will take it. That simplifies that task. You can demand their surrender, which just gives it to you without a fight. Or you can just take the fight normally. You can also build equipment if there's walls, just like normal, but usually the AI doesn't take the surrender. So I kinda got lucky there, I scared him. I spooked him. So we got a free town out of it. Construct or upgrade a building in Changsha. And we get bonus experience. This happens a lot in the campaign. It's probably just this campaign, I'm not sure, but you get a lot of bonus experience just for existing. So, we got the free town over here. We can't take this quickly because I'm not at war with this dude, and frankly I don't really want to declare war with him. So I might ignore Badong, which is a great name for a town. I might ignore Badong and go down to Changsha and take the rest of the territory for this, because it's four little things that I have to fight over. But that gives us a lot more power in our capital here. So that's probably a good idea. It also wants me to build something. So here's how building works. You have 5 categories and then 3 types of building per category. These all upgrade independently. So they all have varying effects and then they will upgrade as well. I'm not sure what I want. Do we have a tea house? Does that generate food? I don't know if a tea house generates food. For the time being, I will assume it does not generate food. So we'll get this little thingy here. Gives us 1 food production, some extra population, and some income, because why not? This one already has the 1 food. So instead, we'll make it a large town. For a lot of money, that seems a little risky, so instead I'll just do nothing, probably. Yeah, we'll do it. It should be safe enough over there. That'll be our first turn. We don't get to see the tech tree for a while. I actually don't know what unlocks the tech tree, but there is a tech tree. It's literally a tree. So I hope you like trees. Heroism? Yeah. Minus 16% upkeep. That's a hell of a decay, though. Best I could do for the most part is probably sit in Awoken or maybe Furious. I don't know how much heroism I can keep up. But I don't want that negative satisfaction, because people being unsatisfied is bad. There's also roads. I didn't mention the roads. The game does, like if you do the tutorial, it does mention the roads. Is that really the fastest way over here? It's via land. Takes 5 turns. Why does it believe that is the fastest way? I'm not sure. I'm gonna force it to go the water route. Pretty sure that should be faster. Oh, we didn't do the siege because he surrendered, but one of the cool things about city sieges is there's actually people in the city. It has no effect on like actual gameplay or anything, but I tell you, yeah, that's way faster. I don't know why you weren't doing that before, but whatever. So like if you're sieging a city, it has walls or whatever. While you're attacking the walls, there's people in the town. Oh, well, that's a fucking issue. Cancel that. Your economy grows, because we built that building down there. So recruit and maintain a total of 12, which means we need to recruit a couple people. That's fine. Our friend the Han, who we are at war with, has an army over here. Not much of one, mind you, but it doesn't need to be much of one. So he's probably gonna siege this city, which is unfortunate. But I'd rather go take this trade port than fuck with him. I really don't like this starting position. I don't like being surrounded. What about you? That's not really a big deal there. I don't know how many armies the Han Empire has, so... Hello? You want food, you want a clay pig for a non-aggression pact. You can, like, go fuck yourself, mate. Oh, you have an army there, too. Well, they at least have 2 armies. One of them is negligible, though. It's also about to go die. See if they'll surrender. Nope. No surrender, so we get to fight. This is a town without walls, so it's just like the normal field battle that old Total War games use. For honor. Also, just like old Total War games, the load time's kind of bad. It's better in this than it was in Warhammer for me. Oh, it is an actual... It's apparently enough of a city that it has towers. A fuck ton of them, apparently. But here's our first little town. It's not much of a town. There's the trade port part. This is a lot of towers for a place without walls, to be honest. Towers also, they upgraded towers and castles in general, or walls in general, to have better firing angles. So you can see it, the front ones face, they can shoot 180 degrees. Everywhere outside of the city's walls is basically where the external ones can fire. And then it looks like these inside ones can shoot everywhere. Well, I mean, short range, but that's kind of annoying. There's also catapults on walls. Stuff like that have been upgraded. We're probably just gonna walk in. Actually, it might be better to go this way. Reduce the number of towers that can shoot at us at one time. There's no walls, so... we are going to essentially just walk in there. Once we're in range of the towers, we get to run. There's also this. Like when you hit space, it shows you all the highlights and stuff. It gives you options for that, which is kind of nice. You could even do unit IDs. I don't know where to see that, but I can turn unit IDs on. Time to run, because we're getting shot at. Do you have any archers? You do. For some reason I just can't see their range. Oh, it's because they're facing the wrong way. Never mind. Let's see if this dude will take a duel. Probably not. He actually will take a duel. Curiously. He'll win that duel even though he's wounded. I'll just take him a little bit. I wish you guys weren't quite so slow. Also tempted to have some of you go around. You should win this duel. I can force my units to interrupt a duel, but has that huge penalty there. Permanent minus 25. He's actually going to lose this duel. We're gonna take the penalty. Interrupt it. You are a coward, you're not wrong. If a unit dies, it's bad. I don't want people to die. I mean, he's the leader. That'll just have a general penalty in basically everything. What are you doing? Why'd you turn around? God damn it. You had one job, and it was to not turn around. What are you still doing up here? Fighting stuff, apparently. Such is the cost of interrupting that duel. The morale. I need you guys to like spread out some semblance of decency. Oh, you broke. Damn it, archers. I may actually lose this because I did that duel. Don't worry, I've taken the towers though. Never mind, we've retreated. All you had to do is stand there for 2 seconds. Filthy cowards. All you had to do was take that tower, you'd been alright. Anyway, basically through this fight. I need you to stop doing that when I tell them to attack. The enemy flees. I mean, they don't have a general anymore, so I have that advantage at least. It's not much of an advantage, but I have that advantage at least. If my flank had gone a little bit better, that would have helped. How dare they flee? Oh. I've lost this fight. I'm gonna rematch that, and instead not throw. Welcome to my life. I throw sometimes. I'm glad they have a rematch option though. That saves you from having to reload the quick save at the start. Yeah, what he said. I think there's a better approach angle. Not really. No matter which way I go, there's gonna be a choke point, so. What actually is your relative strength? Negligible. How did I lose that fight? Like, I know you're wounded, but... how did that even happen? How did I lose a negligible fight? Well, regardless, I kind of want you guys up here for style points, of course. Now we'll just charge in. Go forth.
做好准备。
Oh, it goes from negligible to similar. Is it just similar for him? No, it's similar for both. Don't know what causes that, but
快集合兵力，将军有难，急需救援。
our general needs our aid. Plus the fucking tower shooting us on the way over here. These towers do a lot of damage.
鼓起勇气。
I also like this. How the units flow so far around the generals is kind of nice. Maybe it is taking into account that. Maybe he gets a little buff.
做好准备，快集合兵力，将军有难，急需救援。
You to shoot them, and you to shoot them. TY and a thank you. So who? Fucking halberd infantry out here. It doesn't help that he has halberd infantry. You get in there. You get in there first, the rest of you crowd up there. Where is my halberd infantry? Over there. I want them up front because they're not... I'll see you've decided to shift things.
鼓起勇气，砍翻他们。
They're not at huge risk.
做好准备。兵听令，
Archers, man, they're too strong.
准备好了。片甲不留。毛服准备。赶快。可悲的家伙。
See if I can squeeze in here.
可怜之语，必出自可怜之口。
Your words are as pathetic as you are. That's rude. I want to try and squeeze in this way.
快快快！
Get a little bit of encirclement going on here.
快跑！进攻！
There we go. Yeah, this choke point's kind of awful,
一群懦夫，
but that's okay.
时机已至，
敌将已被我军斩了。
片甲不留。
So their general's out of the equation.
感受大地的愤怒吧！
Let's get in here. Look at that. Beautiful. My archer's doing. Archers is still putting damage out.
准备作战，进攻，
Just squish in.
胜利近在咫尺。挺住！
Who would guess if you don't cripple yourself by having to forcefully interrupt the, there you go,
抓紧！
with the tool, it makes it a lot easier. Who could have guessed? Certainly not me. You know, the fucking 25% morale penalty. Is it percent or just flat 25? I don't know. Either way, it's awful.
今日我等轻松破敌，
There you go, what do we get for 16? That's not bad.
我们必须以公正之法
Puts us up
昭
there.
示百姓，心如利刃。
Current faction support is 10 out of 100.
不要畏惧，
Because they're unhappy. Also don't have a billion food. They'll be fine. Maybe I should have upgraded this. Let's get rid of that. Because we have jetties for food. Maybe. Actually, no, we'll keep it. This could be, realistically, is our only real source of food, is this town over here. I know for a fact he has an army over here. So I've taken the trade port. My next goal would preferably be these two down here. Just so that we have a whole, what are these called? Commandery. A whole region. I'm gonna forget that they're called commanderies all the time, but... And then at that point we just need to get rid of as much Han Empire as we can around us, so that we have at least, you know, less pissy borders. Yeah, armor and tea. These are very important. We also now have access to our first tech. That's reforms, whatever the fuck. But here it is, the beautiful tree. This is how you unlock passive bonuses and buildings and such. It functions just like every other tech tree, it's just very pretty. Honestly, I probably want the peasantry income. Be honest with you. We start with extra commerce income and some buildings, and that appears to be the only thing we start with. Stuff with flowers on it is unlocked already. I could do recruitment cost. I like income though. Yeah, we get another one in 5 turns. Easy. So you want a fuck ton of money for a non-aggression pact. You are strong. Superior allied strength is overwhelming. But their threat is safe. I really like the UI stuff they did in this game that shows a lot of info that old games don't. The diplomacy's a thing that I don't understand, but it looks to be much better than other ones. Yonshu declared war on Hee. Destroy the following factions. You. And you. And we get actually pretty good bonuses. Spy a large force ahead of you, flying the banner of Liu Biao. It's heard that you hold the Imperial Seal. We do. Return it to the Emperor or face war for your thievery. So we can give the seal. We get plus 80 with them, we lose that. Ancillary. Or we can keep the seal, follow the story, seen as an act of treachery, war declared. And we get 80 relation with Yonshu. Well, I don't really want to, but this is fucking mine, mate. So we're at war with Liu Biao up here. I go to diplomatic status, there you go. Oh, I'm at fucking war with everyone now. Oh fuck, I've done it again. God damn it. I wasn't at war with these two, or maybe just him, I'm pretty sure, but now I am. So every known entity on the map to me right now is at war with me. This is a rather troublesome start, considering it's just fucking normal. It didn't say hard or anything, it's just normal. Okay, well, let's go ahead and recruit a couple dudes here. Every general has a preferred unit, so hold on. Best used to engage enemy generals, weaker against units. Best grouped up with spear infantry and glaive infantry. Give them some spear guards, which are extremely good units. There you go. Military is expensive in this game, which is probably for the better. We're also going to want a second army soon, because we're going to have an army down here, and then we're going to have an army up here, because I'm at war with fucking everything, so. I could start that now. Favorite units are color-coded, are they? It seems like they might be, actually. Retinue of glaive infantry or melee infantry? I don't... Those are melee, I don't have any glaive. Doesn't look like they're quite color-coded, but that might just be because he's the leader. Might have a different color because he's leader, but this dude is definitely green, you got that part right. Oh, I can do an assignment without having the whole thing? Is there anything for... no. Assign her for now. It takes 1 turn to start an assignment and then it runs for 5 or 10 or something. Maybe gray stuff is weird. Maybe. I don't know. Or I'm colorblind, one of the two. Let's see how much it would cost to raise a cheap little army. Probably with Changpu as the leader.
As they fight side by side, your generals' bonds will deepen as friends or rivals, affecting their satisfaction in your service. Be watchful of their relationships and their characteristics as they develop.
Hold on. Hold on. Cancel this assignment? Cancel that. Again, there's relationship stuff going on, so Lady Wu actually likes Chengpu. Whereas the other option I was looking at do not. So she's gonna chill in the army. She appears to be a cavalry person. Yeah, what she said. Cells that inspire new friendly troops, weaken melee. Best groups with melee retinues of melee cavalry. Also, hold on. Advice. None. You fuck right off, lady. So she's big on cavalry then. I'm actually going to get rid of this. If I can. Actually, don't know if I can, so we'll just leave them there. You get a couple units of cheap cavalry. There you go. Melee cavalry yellow? They are. I think it is color coding. You are correct. Oh, I see it down here. I couldn't see the color on that number very well. It is color coded, you're right. Neat. That's good to know, actually. So the way recruiting in this works, you might have noticed the units instantly appeared in the army. Units, when recruited, will instantly report for service. Yay, I like being right. Me too. But they will muster. So they start at basically no power. It's like a single unit shows up to the party and then the rest show up later. So it still takes a couple turns for an army to be at full power, but you can use it preemptively if you need to. So I think we're going to use this army in the south to take these two. And then Sun Jian here. Try and deal with stuff in the north. I guess. There's a lot of shit in the north and south and every other direction, so. It does also mean you can recruit units and then move them through your territory to another location. Some extra experience and replenishment, which is very nice. And they'll slowly replenish as you move them. Hold 3 settlements, we've already done that. We get some heroism, I think. Alright, total 3. Oh, we have to wait, we have to pass the turn, right? Also hit the mic, sorry. Yeah, they have the farm, so that would be nice to have. This is a separate region. I don't know. It's probably back there. Yeah. Let's have farmlands, so that'd be nice to have. So I'm not too worried about taking the city right now because it's a separate place. I'd rather have the livestock farm. One more turn. No, 2 more turns and this army will be full. 1 turn and this one's mostly full. Mostly full is probably not good enough. So if I wanted cavalry, I'd have to use this dude, correct? Because he's that color? Yeah. Farm, the only thing that can be, as far as I'm aware, properly fortified are towns. Cities, towns, whatever. I haven't been late game, so I don't know, but I haven't seen a little regional area that has walls or anything like that. They'll have garrison, but they won't have walls or anything. And considering that's his capital, his army is going to be there too. I think for an optimal army, you want a general that's ranged, a ranged capable general, a melee general, and then probably a cavalry general. What kind of melee general, I don't know, because you got the spear general and you got the regular melee general, who knows. You can only have 3 as far as I'm aware, so there's some level of strategery with your general selection. Send any character on assignment, we get some free heroism. Yuan Shu issues a statement that you have no right to the Imperial Seal and must surrender it to him, the rightful owner. So Yuan Shu is the dude that would theoretically help me if I kept the seal. How much shit it gives you though. I feel like a blue and yellow in armies would be good. Global rank 6. He's a strong dude. But I could keep it. He'll hate me. But we could carve our own path. You merely laughed at Yuan Shu's arrogant demand. Okay. Well, he hates me now.